Last time I started building this cave base on Desolo, and you seemed to enjoy it a lot. So today I will expand our base with some automation, and I'll also add more storage, lights, an Astronium Extraction Facility, and a sensor gate to automatically turn on all the lights in the base when driving in with the rover. If all of that sounds interesting to you, then let's get to work. So first of all, let's start with the auto extractors. Being so close to the core here, we've got some Astronium right next to the base, so we can use this to our advantage, and I'm gonna place two auto extractors on here. We are gonna use auto arms to automatically take the Astronium from here. So let's just connect these up like that, and then we'll need two auto arms right here. Then we'll also have a platform to store all of our Astronium, and I've got one of these large resource canisters, so this will be able to hold up to 400 Astronium on here. Now it's also connected to power so that we can turn on our auto extractors, and you can see the green bar is completely full, so we've got a really good Astronium node here. That's gonna get us a ton of Astronium. Let me just turn this on like that, and we should already get a ton of Astronium while we set up the rest of the things in here. Now right next to our Astronium here, we're gonna have an automated trade platform. This way, when we want to, we can automate the Astronium going straight into there, or we can just use scrap from our scrap farm that we will build in just a second. You can see all the materials over on that side. But then we'll also have to do something about the lights, so let me just show you really quick. We've got an XL sensor arch here that we're gonna place right in the entrance, so when we come in with the rover, all of the lights will turn on, and we've got a ton of tall platforms that we can place the lights on, so we're gonna light this thing up really nice. Now let's start unpacking these things for the automated trade platform, and this is gonna be extremely useful, especially since we are deep in the caves. We will want to trade for most of our resources, and here's where all our storage is going to be. So I'm gonna have a large storage, two medium ones, and then we'll have 4 medium resource canisters so that we can store whatever we are trading for, and this is all going to be automated, so that's gonna make the whole thing really quick. But talking about automation, we are gonna need some more auto arms, so let's get that. We're gonna have an auto arm right here to take the resources and place them into their storage, and then we're gonna have some other auto arms here that are gonna feed the scrap or the Astronium into our trade platform. But then we also want it to live on its own, so we are gonna need some sensors on here, and we need 2 more platforms just like that, and this one will have an auto arm on it as well. Now depending on what we want to do, we can just put this like here, and then we can enable output on this, and it will take all the Astronium and feed it that way. Or if we want to use scrap, then I should have another platform on here where we can place all of the medium resource canisters full of scrap that we are gonna get from our scrap farm. So for right now, I'll just leave this extra platform here so that we can use it whenever we need to. Alright, so here we go. We've got some scrap for the selector slots of these auto arms, and then we can have this one turned on in the beginning. We're gonna have a storage sensor on this one in the middle, make sure it's set to full or empty, and then we're gonna have a count repeater here that's gonna connect into there. The storage sensor should go to each auto arm, and then also to this count repeater. We're gonna set this to 8 for now, and we can set this, let's say, to malachite. So this will count how many scrap we put in here. When it reaches 8, it will send the trade platform automatically, so that should work pretty good. We don't really have any scrap right now, but we will in just a second. And as I said, we can also use this with Astronium. We just need to replace these scraps with Astronium in there, and this should all work pretty smooth. Let me also get some food for the snails here, because they are running out. Oh, and by the way, we will also unlock the core of Desolo in this video, so stay tuned for that. But right now, let's head over to our scrap farm here. So we're gonna have an XL platform with the shredder on it. So let's go ahead and unpack this as well. And then we'll need some storage on it, of course. I'm gonna place 2 of these large storages. And we should also get some medium resource canisters here, at least on one of them. Let me get this a little bit closer here. It's connected to power, and we're gonna use the soil centrifuge method for this. Let me just find them. We are crafting 2 platforms here because we don't have any platforms to place our soil centrifuges, but in the meantime we'll set everything else up. So let's unpack the sensor arch, and we're gonna have it right here in the entrance. This is big enough for the rover to fit through it, and we might want to have it on the ramp, or if we want to, we can have it on the ground, but I think it looks better up here. Alright, so once we get through here, then we will activate it, and we'll take it from here. We're gonna connect it to a power switch. So we will have a power switch right here. and we're gonna connect the gate to it. Now this power switch is not going to be connected to the base, because otherwise when we get out the whole base will stop, and maybe we want something to be crafting, or maybe we're extracting Astronium, the scrap farm is going. So the lights will be on a separate power grid that's gonna be controlled by this power switch right here, and the lights will be on top of these tall platforms. I've got 8 of them that we're gonna spread throughout the whole base, and each should have 4 work lights on them. So this is gonna provide a ton of light so that we can see what we're doing in here. I'm also hoping to get a really cool light up effect when we get in with the rover. We should see all of the lights turn on at once. So we've got all of these set up right here. Now all we need to do is spread them out through the base. But look at that, we've got our platforms crafted here, so we can go ahead and unpack that. We'll come back to the lights afterwards. And we're also gonna need a ton of extenders for the lights. So let's first get these unpacked, and we're gonna have the soil centrifuges on here. These will both be in the back here, and then we're gonna have another platform where we are crafting small canisters, which will then get shredded. Now let me just get some auto arms in here. So we are gonna need one auto arm for each soil centrifuge, and these will grab the resin from there. And then we'll have 2 other auto arms that will grab the canisters and feed them into the shredder. Great, now we need some medium storages on here, and then right at the end we're gonna have 2 small printers. And I realize we should move this back a little bit so that we've got enough room over there. We're gonna set these 2 small canisters here. We've got all the power to run the farm from our tappers in the back there, but now we need some items for the selector slots of these auto arms, and that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna use the soil centrifuge to get a little bit more resin for that. So we'll need resin for the selector slots of these ones. Now we can turn them on. And then we're gonna need canisters for the selector slots of these ones. And we can turn these on as well. Now let me unpack some medium soil canisters on here. We are of course going to use the rover to fill these up. We've got a drill and a paver, so that should be pretty easy, and we're gonna get a ton of soil really quick so that we can use that to get a ton of scrap. Now let's get back to our lights here. So first of all, let's pick a spot for each of these ones. So in the corners, that should be good. We should also have one right here. Okay, I've set up the lights throughout the base. Now we should start connecting all of them to this separate power grid here. Alright, I finally got all of them set up. They are on a separate power grid, and it's all being powered by a QTRTG here. So the switch is now on because we are inside the base. Let me just get in the rover and show you how it looks when we get out. We still have these other lights on the platforms. These will always be on, but we can take them off if we want to. Now once we get out, they will all close down. So we've got no lights, and once we get back in, we've got lights again. Now if we really want this to have more effect, we can take these other lights off, so the base will be dark when we get out, and it will light back up once we get in. Okay, so I'll take all of the other lights off, and then I'll show you how this looks. And then we can also go to the core of the planet and unlock it. Look at this, we're getting some pretty nice Astronium in here. We've already got 60 of them, so we are moving very quick there. Okay, now we have achieved a more eerie atmosphere in here, so we only have these lights. Now it looks more like a cave in here, and once we get out, those will close down as well, so we have no lights right now. And now it should look really cool once we get in and all the lights turn on. That's what I was going for, so I'll keep all of these other lights off the platforms for now. We might want to add even more of these tall platforms, but I really like how the lighting is right now. This is pretty eerie, we don't really see too far, and that's actually pretty good because we can see the end of the base, which doesn't look that pretty. I will have to paint all of this, but I'll do that later off camera. Right now I want to go into the core of the planet, and we'll get 2 geometric triptychs from there. So let me get some zinc. If you don't know, we need zinc to unlock the core of Desolo. It's a different material for each planet, but you probably already know that. And all I need to do here is dig down, find the way into the core, and there we have it. Now we can just slide all the way down here, and we've already unlocked the gateways up top, so the core is unlocked. We can get in here. So we are on the ceiling actually. Let me get to the floor of the core. Just like that, gravity changes on the walls, and here we are. You can see the symbol for zinc right here. That's how we know we need to place zinc in. And it's crafting a geometric triptych right here. We've got it. Now let's get another one, because we'll need one for the core and one for the ending. You probably already know the drill. Now let's go back to the ceiling, and we can place one of the geometric triptychs in here. This should unlock the core. And now we can teleport to the core from the surface, so this will make it way easier to get into the base, because from the core we can get straight into the base, it's really close. If we look at the odd stone, we can use this to teleport to any of the gateway chambers above. We've also unlocked a new visor for the Desolo, this blue one, and I think we also got a new palette. So this is the new palette for the Desolo as well. I don't know why it shows up as purple here, maybe it's because of the light, because this is supposed to be gray. Yeah. So this is how it looks. Actually, it looks pretty nice in there. It's a gray with a blue. And I think we also got a new emote. Yeah, so this is the emote we got from the Desolo. Some really nice rewards here and an awesome base, if I should say so. We are gonna do a ton more missions in this Aatrox series, so make sure to save the Aatrox series playlist. It should already be on screen, or you can also go watch this other video next. Whichever one you choose, I'll see you there. Cheers, Astroneers!